Well, hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into News 9 Live. And this just in is what we're tracking at the moment. Don Atiq has been, held guilty by the court in the kidnapping and murder case from 2005. It's a 17-year-old case. And in this particular sentencing, law has caught up with the Don. Don Atiq Ahmed has been held guilty in a 17-year-old kidnapping case. This is the latest that we're tracking. Atiq's brother Ashraf were both present at the Prayagraj court. The police had two strategic ways to bring the Don Atiq Ahmed and his brother to the court. There was a plan A, there was a plan B, and some 12 sections of the Indian Penal Code have been slapped on the Don pertaining to the particular case. If you look at the sections under which the cases have been registered against Atiq Ahmed, it was IPC 147, which was punishment for rioting, 148, which was rioting when armed with a deadly weapon, 149, where every person involved in an unlawful assembly is liable to punishment, and several others, but some serious ones in there as well. Wrongful confinement, kidnapping to commit murder, life imprisonment, or 10 years of rigorous imprisonment, all of that part of his charges as well. IPC 364A, IPC 504, 506, IPC 34, which says any criminal act done by several persons with the same intention. So a larger conspiracy at play over here as well. To talk more about this, in the studio with me is my colleague Pankaj Mishra. Pankaj, it seems like the law has caught up with the Don, and what next for the lawyers of Atiq Ahmed? What next for his road? Will he try to put up another appeal in a particular court? What are some legal remedies for Atiq Ahmed here? And of course, what must be going on in the mind of the petitioners in the case? Umesh Pal's wife, his family, they wanted a clear quote-unquote encounter of Atiq Ahmed.
Right, Kabir, obviously we have been following the case and the kind of media coverage that we saw across last evening across all platforms when Atiq Ahmed was being brought from Surat to Allahabad is something that shows the gravity of the situation. Today, as you rightly mentioned, the Allahabad court has pronounced him guilty in connection with the 2006 abduction of Umesh Pal. Remember, this all if you connect the dots, it looks like straight out of a Hollywood flick here, as Atiq Ahmed the first came to prominence when the BSP MLA Raju Pal was murdered in 2005. Atiq Ahmed was allegedly involved in the killing of Raju Pal, who was shot dead in 2005. Later on, Umesh Pal turned out to be one of the key witnesses in this murder case, and Atiq and his aides allegedly abducted Umesh Pal in 2006 and forced him to give a statement in court in their favor. From there on, the tussle started. Umesh Pal, the key witness in the former BSP MLA's murder case, had got a police complaint registered in this regard, and the case was going on. Remember, Umesh Pal was gunned down. The footage of which, the CCTV footage of which, made headlines in the last week of February this year. He was gunned down outside his Prayagraj residence on February 24th. So this is how it has turned out. Remember, Kabir, the aspect here, why it is important, if you look at the messaging here, Atiq Ahmed has been a name for the last 2 decades. He's a known gangster, and as they say in Hindi, unka sikka chalta tha, unki tuti bolti thi, but din badle, samay badla, sarkarein badli. Now, the BJP government, the Yogi Adityanath government is in power, and obviously these cases have been expedited and law is taking its own course. Known as one of the fiercest gangsters of Uttar Pradesh, Atiq Ahmed now finds himself behind bars as of now, as far as today's court cases are concerned, and many are saying this is again a swift justice from the Yogi Adityanath government.
And it's interesting that you bring the chief minister's name here as well, because this crackdown of the UP government on all these mafias, we earlier saw how the bulldozers were in action, rampaging through various illegal properties of all these so-called quote-unquote mafia leaders and mafia dons as well. 165 cases against Atiq Ahmed ever since 1985. how will this trickle down into the public psyche of the people of Uttar Pradesh, with the Yogi government doing, away with all these mafia lords, the dons in Uttar Pradesh? Justice, it seems to be, is right up on Yogi government's agenda at the moment.
Well, it is definitely, and one such case to make an example out of Atiq Ahmed, who, as you mentioned, the statistics are something baffling, I would say. 100 cases dating as back as 1985, 50 cases are where he is under trial, 12 others he has got acquittal also. And there are Samajwadi Party government withdrew some of the cases in 2004. So remember this tacit backing, as it is alleged, from the Samajwadi Party government also, because believe me or not, but the way Atiq Ahmed is remembered or known as in Uttar Pradesh is obviously not without a mention of Samajwadi Party as well with his name. And this is something that the BJP had been time and again raking up. Remember the recently concluded Uttar Pradesh Assembly polls, where the BJP's salvo on Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav was only based on the grounds of support to the criminals. And Atiq Ahmed is the poster boy of that era, and especially the way he flourished during Samajwadi Party's tenure in Uttar Pradesh is something that the BJP government is now trying to undo.
Right. For all those joining us at the moment, Atiq Ahmed, 62-year-old mafia don turned politician, who entered the world of crime in the year 1979. He was accused of murder and now has more than 100 criminal cases lodged against him. The most recent case was the one that was registered in the Dhumanganj police station of Prayagraj, which was in connection with the murder of Umesh Pal. Umesh Pal, the main witness of the murder of the BSP MLA Raju Pal in 2005, in which again Atiq Ahmed was the accused. The visuals to the left side of your television screens is Atiq Ahmed and his brother Ashraf Ahmed being escorted by the police inside the Prayagraj court. There were two plans, plan A, plan B, to bring him to the court. To the right sides of your screens are live visuals from outside the Prayagraj court, where the media, people, supporters, people who are standing against Atiq Ahmed are there gathered in large numbers. The two are still inside the court premises, but like Pankaj, you were talking about, how this is certainly a Hollywood flick. Also, the Yogi government and its crackdown on mafia and crime in the state of Uttar Pradesh particularly is something that is heavily being talked about. Umesh Pal's family has come out, and over the last week or so, they've been asking and demanding for an encounter of the Don turned politician as well. Now, where does this place Akhilesh Yadav at this point in time?
Well, obviously, Kabir, we have no direct response from the Akhilesh Yadav and his party as of now. But as history would see, Atiq, a very lopsided support that Atiq Ahmed was getting, so much so that it almost became synonymous. Samajwadi Party became synonymous of the gangsters, especially, as I said, poster boy Atiq Ahmed was something that people would recognize the Samajwadi Party rule in Uttar Pradesh. But having said that, now Akhilesh Yadav also can just speak in terms of justice being delivered here, because unless and until there is something that the judiciary or the state administration finds wrong with this case, which doesn't appear to be the case here, Samajwadi Party won't be touching this live wire as of now, because it can backfire at them anytime. And if Atiq Ahmed also spills the beans in custody, then that will be a totally different story to watch.
Absolutely, Pankaj. Many thanks for joining us in the studio here on this particular latest update. What next for Atiq Ahmed? Well, that's a big question. And at the same time, Atiq's lawyer said we'll wait for the verdict to come out and then plan and strategize. So we'll have to wait and watch and see what now is going to be Atiq Ahmed's game plan. Meanwhile, he seems to be in the dock. He's behind bars. He's been sentenced. The verdict has come out in favor of Umesh Pal. He's been held guilty. Don-turned politician, 62 years old. Atiq Ahmed, more than 100 cases against him. Certainly, justice in this matter, a little too late, but has prevailed. Many thanks for joining with us. We're going to continue to probe the developments pertaining to Atiq Ahmed. Thanks so much for watching.